colleague Ivan Vuković, Chair of European Integration Committee, and then in preparation, Madam Sunčava Glavak. So please, Mr. Vuković, take the floor, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Co-Chair. Fellow parliamentarians, ladies and gentlemen, European integration is by far the most important goal for this generation of politicians in Montenegro. Although it would not solve all of our problems, EU membership would create the necessary preconditions for our security, political stability, economic prosperity, and the rule of law, to the benefit of all of our citizens. We come from one of the smallest countries in the notoriously turbulent Western Balkans, with a rather complex identity structure, facing numerous political and socio-economic challenges, while being strongly exposed to malign influences of the Russian Federation and its regional proxies. Under these circumstances, we do not regard joining the EU strictly as a foreign policy issue, or a political issue for that matter. We believe it is actually the only insurance policy credible enough to guarantee that Montenegro, in the long run, will continue to develop as a multi-ethnic democracy. Therefore, the Democratic Party of Socialists, as well as the rest of the parliamentary opposition, has unreservedly supported and shall continue to support Montenegro's bid to join the EU by the end of this decade. That is why, a few weeks ago, we have signed a political agreement with the Prime Minister, with the idea not only to solve the constitutional crisis we had experienced since December last year, but to clear up the path that leads Montenegro towards EU membership. We welcome, with genuine enthusiasm and without any political calculation, every new step that our country makes on that path. Therefore, we were very happy to see another 3 chapters being provisionally closed on the occasion of the last IGC. At the same time, we remain deeply worried about our country's European future. Unfortunately, the increasingly autocratic regime of Aleksandar Vučić continues to affect our political life. His main intention is to prevent Montenegro from joining the EU before Serbia does. And to that goal, his political allies in our country seek to create political tensions and complicate our neighborly relations. And let me remind you, they currently belong to the ruling coalition in Montenegro. Hence, their insistence against pro-EU rhetoric on the politically controversial and highly sensitive issues such as constitutional reform and the dual citizenship. Their recent visit to Banja Luka, where they openly endorsed the secessionist leader of Bosnian Serbs, Milorad Dodik. Their continuation of the verbal war with Croatia's political representatives. Their anti-liberal stance on the civil society organizations and media in Montenegro. Their recent idea that Montenegro should form a military alliance with Serbia and Hungary, etc. In view of all this, we appeal to our European partners to remain fully dedicated to the process of Montenegro's accession and to be vigilant in confronting destructive political forces, domestic and regional, that seek to destroy our country's chances to become the next EU member state. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a historic opportunity, and the time to act is now. If we do well, at the end of the day, Montenegro's success in this regard would be important not only for our citizens, but for the rest of the region, as well as the European Union as a whole. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.